fuck the world, I'ma walk in erection. Spit without a thought, we do it reckless. Your nigga call us texting. You said, baby, don't be mad, you know how bread is.
Come up in your mouth, you whisper good to me. I ain't built like him, fucking with a G. Just cause I fuck you, that don't mean I trust you, I don't. You got some high hopes, baby. If I'm crazy, and I'll tell you about me.
I was nothing at all. Took a trip to London just to hear how they talk. Back to 4-0, you should hear how they talk. He might be Mr. Track and Field, but I done ran through them all. Yeah, that nigga played the moment just to watch how we ball. I ain't never home for long, but you pull up when I call. All the hood niggas respect me, strippers wanna sex me. You left on her, now we mad because you had me. Shit ain't fucked up, don't change it. I'd probably be dead if I was basic. Would you still give me head if I had patience? I work when I want, I do what I want. She get what she want, I call her my what she want.
Sakafet, that means what's up. My name is Aliza. Welcome back to a day in the life of an unemployed 25-year-old. So this is the long-awaited, by me, tattoo video. That was supposed to be the last video, but I went on this tangent about how my appointment got canceled and how this is not the first, second, or third time something has happened. So I'm going to take it as a sign from the universe and I'm just not going to get a tattoo by this guy. The next day, I rescheduled my appointment, okay? I've just been wanting this tattoo by him for so long, so I'm gonna just go ahead and do it. So let me just give y'all the breakdown of all the troubles I have gone through to try and get a tattoo by this guy. So I got my first piece by this guy last year, February 2021. A few months later, I had this girl draw up a piece for me and I hit him up to schedule an appointment for that. Couple messages in, he leaves me on red. And I just thought that was so rude, so disrespectful. You don't treat customers like that. Like have better customer service, right? A day goes by and I'm thinking about it and I'm like, okay, maybe I didn't follow his guidelines. Maybe he thinks I'm just wasting his time or something. So I'm gonna let this slide. A few months after that, so about like 6 months after I got this first piece, I hit him up again and we schedule an appointment. We scheduled an appointment. It was for like a Sunday at like 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning. Back then, you didn't have to give a deposit to confirm your appointment. Like my first piece I got, no deposit. Anyways, the appointment is scheduled, right? So the week of the appointment comes and like I just get a lot of anxiety over the appointment. Something is just telling me, don't do it. I just messaged him a little less than 24 hours before the appointment to cancel. I keep looking for the next 24 hours, 48 hours. Homie does not open the text message. It's on Instagram and Instagram shows you if it's been read. He does not open it. The day of my appointment at 10, 11 o'clock when I'm supposed to be having my appointment, homie is walking his dog, doing regular people shit, watching a boxing match. So it just confirmed my anxiety and my intuition. So second time, things didn't go right. Third time is like a whole year later, February 2022, I hit him up to make an appointment. He's booked for February, so I make an appointment for March 9th. I gave my deposit, everything. Less than 24 hours before the appointment, he messages me to confirm. I told him yeah, and then he's like, all right, I'm gonna have to cancel. Do you want to reschedule or do you want a refund? I asked him about a reschedule, but it took him a while to respond, so I'm going on this tangent about how like it's just not meant for him to get me another tattoo. Plus the first one, there's some, there's some things. And then a day later, he finally hits me up for the 17th, which is tomorrow, so I'm like, fuck it. I really want this tattoo. Fuck it. I'm gonna go get this tattoo. So I reschedule. He sends me a picture of his calendar. I already made the deposit from the first time. Cool, I have an appointment. But now that I'm thinking about it, it's less than 24 hours and I haven't got the confirmation. As for now, before I get a tattoo, I just wanna do a few things. I just wanna clean, do some laundry.
When you top me off, you know I'll be slow. Fuck the world, I'ma walk in direction. Spit without a thought, we do it reckless. Your nigga call us texting. You said, baby, don't be mad, you know how bread is. Your nigga call us texting. You said, baby, don't be mad, you know how bread is.
Don't come around if you ain't close to me. I ain't built like them. It gotta work for me. Just cause I haunt you, it don't mean I want you, I don't. You got some high hopes, high hopes.
I'ma walk in direction. Without a thought.
Morning, y'all. It is officially tattoo day. I woke up, I finished cleaning, and I took a shower. I'm officially about to shave my arm because last night he sent me a confirmation message on Instagram, sent me the address. We're good to go. Just a couple hours, and this whole thing is gonna be filled, or it should be. I should get soap. I am praying and manifesting that I have the balls to ask him to film, because this is inside his house. It's not like at a tattoo shop, so it's a bit more private. So I hope I have the balls to be like, can I get a couple clips? You know, I'm very happy because I don't have any anxiety and I'm not really nervous. It's a good time of the day, so I'm not gonna get stuck in traffic or anything, hopefully. Arm is nice and clean, baby. So I'm dressed, simple leggings and a t-shirt. Simple. I'm gonna try this thing in my hair real quick. I saw this girl do some buns using a hairnet, so I'm like, I'm gonna try that. So about my tattoo. While I'm doing this, I want to just talk about like this tattoo and what I want this piece to be. So this piece right here, it is not part of the rest. They just happen to collide with each other. But I got this piece last year in February 2022. I like it. I like the shading, the line work, and the type of style it is. There were a couple problems, but I have yet to mention it to him. So hopefully when I go there today, I'll tell him and he could just like fix those mistakes, even though it was a year ago. First of all, bands are hard to do. I didn't know that, and I didn't realize that until after I got it, that, you know, whole circular motion across your arm. It wasn't the most thought out, but I think the lines is fine. But when you get to the edges, you see that he freehanded. Which this one is not that bad, but over here, yeah, I'm not that upset, but it's still like, what the fuck? And there are a couple spots like right here where one of the leaves weren't shaded in, and then the lines itself, like he did a top layer and a bottom layer, but he didn't necessarily fill it in, so I could see a couple gaps all around. Ooh, okay. I see where she was going with it. I like it. Picasso. It looks a little hairnetty. I'm gonna come back to it. Now the piece that I want here, I do want it to be a half sleeve, and I really want it to go to him just so it's the same style and it looks connected. So like all of my tattoos, I found this picture on Pinterest and I wanted it to be a Dominican or a Caribbean version of it, because you just don't get that representation in tattoos and anywhere else. So you know how they have like the Asian tattoos with their architecture and shit? I hope I'm not saying the wrong thing, but they have like Buddhas, they have the koi fish, they have flowers. You know how it's just one beautiful piece? That's what I want, but like the Caribbean version of that. So that's where my mindset was going. I don't know how people talk and do hair and makeup. How y'all do that? And just wrap it up real quick. Anyways, this ain't staying. Not bad. It's giving Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse. But it's cute. It's little space buns. Anyways, I want a piece to connect and to represent, you know, where I am from. So let's move on out of here. What I was saying is that I just wanted a Caribbean, a Dominican inspired tattoo piece. So the picture I found on Pinterest, I hit up this girl I went to high school with and I asked her to draw me a Caribbean version. I told her the headpiece I wanted, you know, whatever extra like flowers and this and that I wanted, and I paid her for it. She gave it back to me and I like it. There were a couple aspects of it I wish I would have been a little bit more specific about changing, but I hope that the tattoo artist could like change it, like the mouth. Anyways, I want her to be like the main piece on my arm. It's this Caribbean woman holding a cutlass or a machete, and then I also want mountains. Like Dominica's just filled with greenery, lush mountains, and I want that. And like his type of shading and line work and shit like that, I'm really excited to see how that turns out. So I want to add more Dominican and Caribbean flowers and like have it on one side and like the mountains in the background on the other side. But I'm just not sure if my vision is going to be tattooed into this reality. I really hope so. I can't fully even envision it in my mind, so I really hope that he could, you know, pick up what I am putting down and like be able to transfer that on my arm. So breakfast is made. I made the same thing that I had yesterday: bacon, egg, cheese, onions, and potato tacos. So I'm finally on my way to my appointment. I thought I had a little push room and I could leave the house 15 minutes later than expected. Come to find out, I didn't calculate like the time to bring the lasagna to my sister. So I'm gonna be like 10-15 minutes late. I'm on my way, praying, begging, asking, manifesting that, you know, I don't have any anxiety and I have the balls to like speak up, because sometimes when getting a tattoo, I just like let the artist do their thing, or if like it's just too much words to explain it, I'm just like, fuck it, give me that. But I really hope that I am vocal about exactly how I want my tattoo, and I also manifest that I have the balls to ask this man if I could film so y'all could get this good content. So I'm currently here waiting in my car. He had messaged me asking for my ETA, and I was about to like message him saying I'll be 10 minutes late, and I had a feeling like he needed a little bit of time. But anyways, he told me just wait, he'll come get me in a few minutes, which that's totally fine.
Now this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down, and I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you how I became the prince of a town called Bel Air in West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground is where I spent.
Chilling, waiting. I'm really being bold right now. Pulling up my camera.
Guys who were up to no good started making trouble in my neighborhood. I got in one little fight and my mom got scared and said, "You're moving with your auntie and uncle in Bel Air." I begged and pleaded with her day after day, but she packed my suitcase and sent me on my way. She gave me a kiss and then she gave me my ticket. I put my Walkman on and said I might as well kick it. First class, yo, this is bad. Drinking orange juice out of a champagne glass. Is this what the people of Bel Air living like? This might be alright. But wait, I hear the perceived bourgeois and all that. Is this the type of place that they...
So I am all out of my appointment, and I'll tell y'all more about that later. But I'm currently at the Dollar Tree because I need some antibacterial soap and some A&D ointment because mine is about to run out.
Like a cop standing there with my name out. I ain't trying to get arrested yet. I just got here. I sprang with the quickness like lightning disappeared. I whistled for a cab, and when it came near, the license plate said fresh.
So I'm back home and I wanted to share my tattoo experience with you guys. I still have the saran wrap on, so I will insert some clips whenever I remove it. I'm going to preference this by saying I have been taking some Google courses. The most recent one is User Experience Design. I realized my entire life I have been an evaluator of user experience. Anytime I go get my hair done, my nails done, or a tattoo, or any type of service, or even a product, I always think about like the customer service I received, the greeting, the farewell, the acknowledgement of me, like listening, besides just like how the final product turns out. So with that being said, it was an okay experience. I'm gonna be honest. I will say straight up, I probably won't go back to him again. Both times he did my tattoos, I think they're good work, but they just didn't like feel 100% in my heart. And I also came to realizations that tattoos, however you see it, however you see like whatever your inspiration is, it's not always going to translate the same. Even with piercings and stuff like that, shit just looks different. Your body reacts to it differently. Most of the times you'll see a picture, something on a 2D piece of paper, and then we try to translate it on our 3D bodies, and sometimes it doesn't work out. With that being said, I think the work is good. There are just a couple things that I'm not 100% crazy about, and he's just pricey. He's far and he's pricey. I had to drive 45 minutes to there, and it's not that big of a deal because anywhere in Houston is like an hour apart. But like, I got a tattoo artist like 10 minutes from my house. Instead, I went to him because I really liked his work. And you know them signs I was talking about in that other video and earlier on? Yeah, I should have listened to it. Again, it's not a bad tattoo. I don't hate it, but I just don't 100% love it. And for some reason, I thought I was about to get my entire half sleeve done. I thought I was gonna get tattoo all around, but it was only on one side. And I asked him for the girl, some flowers, and some mountains. He just went ahead with the girl and the flowers. And then when I mentioned the mountains, he said we could have like made the girl smaller and put some mountains in the back. But at that point, we were already like 2 hours in. He had already put the stencil on me. and I just wanted to keep it pushing because I also wanted her to be large and in charge. I didn't want her to be like that much smaller, so I went ahead and opted out of the mountains, and he still charged me the same price. And I didn't argue or anything because I don't like arguing or questioning people about their prices. It's your art. You price what you want. That's why I didn't say anything, but it was almost $500 for this piece.
Huh?
$500 fucking dollars.
What?
When I booked this, I had it in my mind that I was going to get a half sleeve and I was gonna have the mountains in the back. So I'm like, it's on the pricey side, but I'm getting some stuff. And it's not that I wasn't speaking up, and I did like it when I saw it, but like having time to think and reflect, not 100% fan. My user experience was just not there, so yeah. So I got there 10 minutes late, and then I had to sit and wait in my car because he was doing something, but I wasn't mad about it because I was late, so I can't be mad for him being late. The appointment was at 11, probably started working on it at 11:30. So we sat down, I gave him the names of the flowers, and then he looked up pictures of it, and then he started drawing it. But I didn't realize what he was doing because he didn't vocalize that. So after a while, I realized, oh, he's sketching it out. So literally 2 feet away from him, across like the table from him, I'm just watching him draw my tattoo. I personally wish there was a consultation beforehand. I was just asked the flower names, and then he kind of like put it together without asking me. Yes, I should have spoken up, but again, like the angles we were at, it wasn't much that I could see or do. We're sitting here, maybe like 30 minutes in, he just randomly fucking gets up. He just gets up, then he comes back with a big ass plate of fries. Again, we are literally 1 to 2 feet away from each other. Like you're at an appointment with me to just start eating and then drawing, a little bit unprofessional. And I understand we're in 2022, people working out of their homes, and you know, shit doesn't have to be as professional. Totally understand that. But sometimes things like a greeting, like I didn't get a hello, I damn sure didn't get a goodbye. So yeah, it takes us like an hour and a half. I'm just sitting there on my phone while he draws the tattoo. And it wasn't a horrible experience. Nobody was like rude or nasty, and the work wasn't bad. It's just that I personally not in love with 100% of the work, and like just the overall user experience, like the lack of communication and the lack of customer service. I definitely should have written a little bullet point because I keep forgetting things. I feel like I'm artistic, like, you know, I express myself through, you know, decor and shit, but I can't draw. So it's like hard for me to envision. Like I was asking him, you know, what do you think about the mountains, or what do you think I should add here? Like he would give a couple like responses, but for the most part, he seemed like uninterested. Like this should all be on me. And I understand like some artists, you definitely just gotta say, this is what I want exactly. When you try and give them that like that creative room, it don't really work out. But again, I don't hate it. I just haven't fallen in love with it yet. Here I am once again in the middle of taking out my hair, and I remember something else that I don't say rubbed me the wrong way, but you know, contributed to my not so great user experience. So like in the end of the session, usually artists, they'll be like, do you know how to take care of it? But they still, you know, give you a little reminder. Make sure to wash it with some soap, put some this on it. The first time I went to him, he gave me a couple packs of A&D ointment. This time, I didn't get any of that. I just got it wrapped up and, all right, you could go, basically. Basically, it just kind of like abruptly ended. It was like, okay, that's it. I went and looked in the mirror and he was like, okay. Anyways, I feel like I'm bashing him. I'm not bashing him. It wasn't horrible. It's just like, I'm just saying you could do better. The more I look at this with the saran wrap, the more I don't like it. I've come to a realization that I reflected on my character played in this game of interaction, and I realized I need an artist that like really just goes step by step by step by step. I know I'll like the tattoo eventually, and I need to take off the fucking thing and it needs to stop swelling. I have realized that in that moment I try and be very attentive and pay attention, but I just overlook so many things. Like a lot of me viewing the piece, I was watching it upside down basically, and from that angle, even like the tattoo on my arm, like it was like it's different than seeing it right side up. He was drawing, and at some point I got on my phone because it was an hour and a half he was drawing. I wasn't just gonna sit and just watch him for an hour and a half and be weird. So I was on my phone, and then by the time I realized he was done drawing, you know, he printed it out and then he was cutting it out, and then I saw it on paper and it wasn't bad, and then he put it on, and then again, that perspective, that point of view, I'm not trying to blame him 100%. I am taking accountability.
dice in the mirror. If anything, I could say that this cab was rare, but I thought, man, forget it. Yo, home to LA. Up to the house about 7 or 8, and I yelled to the cabby, yo, home, smell you later. Looked at my kingdom, I was finally there to sit on my throne as the Prince of Bel Air. Prince of Bel Air, Prince of Bel Air. Nasty Prince of Bel Air, Bel Air. Prince of Bel Air, Prince of Bel Air. Nasty Prince of Bel Air, Bel Air.
Final update before I go to sleep. It's 8 o'clock, but I've had a long emotional day. 1 minute I like it, 1 minute I don't like it. I'm just having an existential crisis about a tattoo. So I'm back to my original thought. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. It's not a regret. And what I peep is like why I don't really love it. The flower sizes and proportions, and then as well as her mouth and her nose just a little bit. I'm again not trying to blame the artist or anything like that. I mean, I'll say half and half. There's like a communication aspect. I've realized, yeah, I need somebody that goes step by step and does like a separate consultation. Just sitting there for an hour and a half watching him piece together and like tracing stuff. I didn't have time like really examine it and think about it and look at it. Like I just saw it. I was like, okay, it looks good, and just went along with it. Of course, that's on me. So I was all over the place in the video, but I've had this tattoo for about a month now, and I realized for the price I paid, I just want somebody who also says hi and goodbye. I know I need to prepare questions beforehand because I always go brain fart in a tattoo appointment. But as the artist, you know what you're doing, you know the steps you take, so you also know what questions to ask. I really wish there was better communication. Like, there are so many areas that are shaded in, and he didn't ask me. The shading isn't on the stencil that they put on, and I'm laying flat on my back with my arm stretched out, so I can't see what you're doing on my arm, and you just go ahead and like shade it and do like different designs in the flower, but you didn't consult me about that. And you know, for my previous tattoo I had from him, there were a couple leaves that he left empty. I asked him if he could shade it in. Like, I asked him that in the beginning of the appointment. He said, yeah, no problem. He ended up just drawing some more fucking empty leaves. Like, what the fuck? And on that note, happy night.